Hello everyone. Today we're learning about trigonometric ratios. You're first introduced to this concept in grade 9. So let's get started. Some of you may have heard of a mnemonic device that sounds like SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA is a way to memorize the ratios of sine, cos, and tan when it relates to a right triangle. So, what is SOHCAHTOA? SOHCAHTOA stands for sine of an angle is equal to its opposite side over the hypotenuse. Cos of an angle is equal to the adjacent side over hypotenuse. And tan of an angle is equal to its opposite side over the adjacent side. So before we begin, we need a right angle triangle, which we have here on the left. I've color coded it, each side a different color, so we can easily identify what's what. Firstly, we have a right angle triangle. That's what this corner symbol means, that this angle is 90 degrees, and this is a right angle triangle. And we're going to label this our angle theta. Theta is just the name for the symbol. It just represents an unknown angle. We don't really know what that angle is in terms of its number, but this is useful because now we can start labeling the sides of our right angle triangle. So the opposite side is always the side opposite our angle that we have labeled. So this is our opposite side in green. The adjacent side is always the side that's next to our angle. So this would be our adjacent side. And finally, the hypotenuse is always the side that's across the 90-degree angle, and it's also the longest side. So depending on where our angle is, our labels can change. I'll show you that in another example. But for now, something else that you should know that is specific to right angle triangles, and that is the Pythagorean theorem, which states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If you're not sure what a, b, and c are, a is, well, sorry, I apologize, I should start with c. C is hypotenuse, it's the longest side, and a and b are either one of the other sides. It doesn't really matter which one is which, as long as one is a and the other is b. So once I know the distance from one end to the other, I can figure out a and b, and I can plug it into this formula to find our unknown value c, which is the hypotenuse. So that's going to be a different lesson, but that is something that we need to know when it comes to these right angles triangle problems. So let's do an example. Let's do a simple example here. So here we have a side length of 10. We have an angle of 60. So our angle is here. The question is asking to find WX. So our unknown side is from here to here. This is what we're looking for, question mark. We know that this is a right angle triangle because of this symbol here. The number one step is to always label your right angle triangle. Since this is the angle given, and that's the angle we're going to use, this side will be considered the opposite side. This side is our adjacent side, and this side from B to W, which is 10, is opposite the 90-degree angle, so this would be our hypotenuse. Now, we know that sine angle is equal to opposite or hypotenuse. Cos angle is equal to adjacent or hypotenuse. And tan of an angle is equal to opposite or adjacent. We need to figure out which one of these three equations that we will use to solve for our unknown side. Since our unknown side is the adjacent side, we know we will not use sine theta equals opposite or hypotenuse. The reason why I know this is because adjacent isn't in this formula. So since it's not there, we can't solve for it. So our only two options are now either cos or tan. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but for tan, the question is asking for our opposite side. Since we do not know what our opposite side is, we cannot use tan because it will have too many unknowns. So the only formula that we can use in this example is cos theta. So cos, and our angle is 60, so cos of 60 is equal to adjacent, which is our unknown side, so I'm just going to keep it as ADJ. And hypotenuse is 10. Now that I've set up our formula, it's very simple to solve. You just need to bring the 10 over to this side, and it will become multiplication. So 10 times cos 60 is equal to our adjacent side here. So we're going to plug in our value for cos 60. So 10 cos 60 is equal to 5. So that means our adjacent side is 5.